Hey guys, this is Connor, aka Condor97 on YouTube, and I'm going to be showing you guys a deck profile of my Darkrai Hydreigon deck. So, start out with, we have a pretty standard 4 Dino. The only thing that's a little bit non-standard about it is that I run the 2 Dark Dino and then the 2 Dragon Dino. I've seen a lot of people do 3-1, maybe 1 Dark, or maybe all 4 Dragon. I've seen that too. But honestly, I really almost prefer the Dark type, just because you could play the Dark patch and get it onto it. So, like, if you have your Darkrai active, and then you have a Hydreigon and a Dino, because you should get 2 Dino out turn 1 if you can, then you can just Dark patch to the Dark type one. The thing is that the Dragon Dino have going for it is its attack, Deep Growl, which paralyzes, flip a coin, if heads, you paralyze the defending Pokemon. But honestly, I don't think I've ever used that in testing. And then its weakness isn't as bad, because there's not very many dragon types that attack for like 1 damage, 1 energy. I mean, the only one I can think of is Baby Rayquaza, but not very many decks play that anymore, if any. The Dark Dino does have a resistance to Psychic Energy, which I could see like maybe coming into play with like a Deoxys if they start Deoxys, Prism, Color's Machine, and a Laser Bank. They couldn't knock you out, but that probably wouldn't happen too often. It could protect you from an X-Ball if you have an energy on it. So next is also pretty standard. I have 3 Hydreigon. Hydreigon is the heart and soul of this deck. You know, Dark Trance lets you move the energies around, lets you Dark Patch and move it to your lets you energies off your damaged Pokemon to play Max Potion. It's just all around a pretty great card. The 150 HP is pretty good for a non-EX, and the attack is also pretty solid for a Psychic and 2 Dark and a Colorless. I mean, 140 damage is nothing to shy away from. The 2 discarding 2 energy isn't too bad, but you can always just Dark Patch those back. Next up, we have 3 Darkrai, which is pretty standard in this deck, because, I mean, it's hard to find space, so you don't usually receive 4. Night Spirit is, Darkrai has been around for a while. I mean, it's just a really good card. Night Spear, 90 damage and 30 to a bench Pokemon is just such a solid deck. And then, especially with Hydreigon, that lets you just move the energies around however you want. Next up, I have Sableye. I only run 2. A lot of people actually run 3. My reasoning for running 2 is mainly just space. It's not too hard to get out, because, you know, Ultra Ball and Dark Patch, but Junk Hunt is just a really good attack to help you get that, you know, that turn 2 Hydreigon, which is what you're aiming for, obviously, and just to get your resources back late game and mid game even. Next we have 1 Verision EX, which really helps with this deck's big emphasis on healing the damage off with Max Potion and moving the energies around, because the blend energies can count as grass energies, so they can't do any stunts with laser, and sleep flips don't matter. You can move an energy onto the active if they get paralyzed or anything like that. So it's just a really good card, and its attack can in a few cases. 250 isn't, it's not great by any means, but I mean, it's not bad at all. It can do, there's some things like Haxorus. I use it against the Haxorus once. You do 90 with the Darkrai and then 50 with the Verision. Next up is a little bit less standard. I have 1 Mewtwo. A lot of people shied away from Mewtwo when they think that the card is X-Ball is still a great attack, and Side Drive could even be used in this deck, which really does, like, it wins games, honestly. Mewtwo against Plasma, late game, catch her up a Deoxys and knock it out. It's hard against Plasma too. It's hard for them to get a Deoxys with a Prism Energy and a Color's Machine. If you are able to Side Drive a Deoxys, let's say, and then you attack, they can't knock you out without a laser, but you're playing Verision, so once you have those blends on there, what are they going to do? It really puts a damper on their day. Next, we'll start with the item cards. I run 4 Rare Candy, which is super standard in these Stage 2 decks like Hydreigon. If you don't know what the card does, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. Next, we have 4 Dark Patch, which generation right now is so long with how fast this format is. I mean, right now with decks like and Blastoise and stuff, they all have a good form of acceleration, and so does this deck in the form of Dark Patch. Next, we have 3 Ultra Standard. It's just a really solid all-around card, you know. Discard 2, get any Pokemon out of your deck. I really couldn't see running any more or any less of this card. I think 3 is the perfect number. I think it's just a really solid search card. Next, we have 3 Max Potion, which is really important in this deck. You can damage Pokemon, you can heal all the damage off of it with Max Potion, and then move all the energy right back onto it. So it's just such a good card. Next, we have 3 Catcher. Can maybe see you running 4, but just the space in this deck is super tight. So right now, I'm only going with 3. I'll probably keep it at 3. 2 Evalight. This card I could definitely see jumping up to 3 just because, you know, they Tool Scrapper once if you have them both attached and they're both gone. But again, space is an issue in this deck. And Evalight, I mean, a lot of people did shit after Laser, but with Verision in the deck, I mean, they can't use Laser, so now it does a lot. I mean, it helps keep stuff from dying, which is a big part of this deck. You know, with the Max Potions and the Verision and the Evalight, it makes it hard for them to one-shot things, and then you can just heal it again. And I have 1 Level Ball, which is mainly for like a turn 1 Skylift for Level Ball. To get those dinos out quick, card your entire hand turn 1. So we have 1 Tool Scrapper. I could see jumping it up to 2, but 1 right now. It's just there's so many tools being played right now. Bangle, Mirror, Evalight, maybe even in the Mirror match. Floatstone still. It's just it's a staple card right now, but with this deck, like in a Plasma deck, there's no way you could only run 1 Tool Scrapper because Silver Mirror completely shuts that off. But I think in this deck, 1's fine, especially with the junk of Sableye. 1 Computer Search, I could see playing Dowsing Machine, but I really feel Computer Search is just better in a Darkrai deck. So, like, you want to get set up quick, and this deck has an okay late game, but it's the early game that you need to be very, you know, aggressive in getting your stuff out. Let's move to my supporters. I play 4 Juniper, which is standard. 4 N. I could see dropping this down to 3 in another card, but I mean, N is really good early game. It's good shuffle draw 6 early game. It's good late game if you're behind, like Stage 1 decks often are. So that if your opponent gets ahead, you can try to make a comeback. I run 3 Skyla. Skyla's really good in Stage 2 decks, you know. Search your deck for the Rare Candy or the Ultra to get that other part of the puzzle that you need. And then on 1 Chloris, I definitely see upping this to 2 since you have, you know, 2 major bench hitters in your deck and Hydreigon and Verision. That's what I could see dropping the N for is that 1 more Chloris because the card is really clutch late game. The only thing is it's really bad early game. Then onto my energy, I run 8 Dark, which is pretty standard. The energy line in this deck for me is pretty standard. Then I run 4 Blend Energy, which is Verision, and with the Mewtwo being able to side drive. So I'm sure some of you guys are wondering why I don't run Tropical Beach. Well, one thing is the deck is such a tight fit for everything. And honestly, Sableye's Junk Hunt is pretty good early game too, just like Beach would be. and it would be hard for me to get beaches right now. So, but either way, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Condor97 signing out. Please subscribe to PTCGCentral if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.